With the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence technology, the scale of global data centers is expanding at an unprecedented pace. Behind this lies a massive demand for electricity. Data shows that the annual power consumption of a large AI data center can be as high as billions of kilowatt hours. Traditional power grids are not only facing pressure in power supply but also find it difficult to meet the low carbon requirements in the context of carbon neutrality. Against this backdrop, small modular reactors (SMRs), with their characteristics of small size, flexible deployment, and near-zero carbon emissions, are becoming a key solution to meet the energy needs of AI. This new nuclear power technology does not require large-scale infrastructure construction and can supply power to data centers nearby. Moreover, the power of a single reactor is moderate and can be gradually increased according to the expansion of computing power, perfectly matching the development rhythm of the AI industry. Market institutions predict that by 2030, the global SMR market size will exceed $50 billion, and in this energy revolution, BWXT Technologies NICE. BWXT is standing at the forefront of the times, relying on its century-old accumulation in the nuclear field and its full industrial chain layout. As a nuclear technology giant, spanning the fields of defense, energy and medicine, the uniqueness of BWXT lies in the fact that it is not only the sole supplier of nuclear power systems for the U.S. Navy's nuclear submarines and nuclear aircraft carriers but also has built an replicable competitive advantage in commercial nuclear power, nuclear facility management, and medical isotope fields. Starting from the Babcock and Wilcox Company in 1856 and then splitting and reorganizing into BWXT in 2015, this enterprise with a 165-year history has always been at the forefront of nuclear technology innovation. Now, it is transforming this technological accumulation into a first-mover advantage in the SMR era. In the defense field, BWXT's position is almost unshakable. Since the 1950s, it has been the exclusive supplier of nuclear reactors and fuel assemblies for the U.S. Navy, from the Virginia-class attack submarines to the Ford-class nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. The heart of every U.S. nuclear-powered naval vessel is built by it. This monopoly stems from its mastery of cutting-edge technologies such as special material processing and reactor miniaturization. For example, the nuclear fuel assemblies it produces do not need to be replaced during the service life of submarines, a technology that is unique in the world. The U.S. Navy's 30-year shipbuilding plan has clearly defined the continuous expansion of nuclear submarines and aircraft carriers in the future. This alone has locked in orders worth over $3 billion for BWXT in the next decade. What's more worthy of attention is the opportunity under the AUKUS agreement. All three nuclear submarines exported by the U.S. to Australia will adopt BWXT's power systems. This is not only a technology export but also a breakthrough in the international market. The government nuclear facility management business provides BWXT with a stable cash flow ballast as a core contractor for the U.S. Department of Energy (DOE) and the National Nuclear Security Administration (NNSA). It has participated in the cleanup and operation and maintenance of more than 10 high-risk nuclear facilities such as the Los Alamos National Laboratory and the Hanford Nuclear Site. Most of these projects adopt the cost-plus fixed-fee model, with a stable profit margin of 12–15% and are hardly affected by the economic cycle. In 2024, this part of the business contributed 76% of the revenue and 81% of the operating profit, becoming the company's safety cushion against market fluctuations. More important lie the experience in nuclear waste disposal and facility decommissioning accumulated from these projects is becoming an important bargaining chip for its participation in the global transformation of nuclear facilities. The real growth engine comes from the commercial nuclear power field, especially the rise of SMRs, with the extension of the service life of global nuclear power plants from 40 years to 60 to 80 years. The demand for the replacement of core components has surged. The steam generators, pressure vessels, and other equipment produced by BWXT have already occupied 30% of the North American market share. In the life extension project of the Canadian CANDU reactor, nearly half of the key components come from its factory in Ontario. The acquisition of Connectrix completed in 2025 has further strengthened its position. This nuclear service enterprise with 1,300 employees has sites in 20 countries around the world and is good at nuclear facility inspection and life assessment. It is expected to bring an additional annual revenue of $300 million to BWXT. More importantly, it enables BWXT to have the ability to provide services from component manufacturing to the entire life cycle and can provide a one-stop solution. In SMR projects, currently, BWXT has participated in the first SMR commercialization project in the Western Hemisphere, providing fuel assemblies for the NuScale company, and the next generation SMR fuel being developed at its innovation campus in Lynchburg is expected to increase the reactor efficiency by 20%. In addition, BWXT is also involved in the medical isotope business. Actinium-225 produced by BWXT is a key raw material for the treatment of advanced prostate cancer. With the popularization of precision radiotherapy technology, the demand for this isotope is growing at an annual rate of 40%. According to Research Nester data, the global radioactive isotope market size will reach $55.7 billion by 2026. BWXT, relying on its stable production capacity and strict quality control, has already occupied 15% of the North American market share. Although this part of the business currently accounts for less than 5% of the revenue, its growth rate far exceeds the company's average level and has become a new growth point. The financial data has verified the effectiveness of this diversified layout. In 2024, BWXT's revenue reached $7 billion, with a compound annual growth rate of 10.2% in the past 5 years. In the first quarter of 2025, it achieved a year-on-year growth of 13%, and the adjusted earnings per share was $0.91, exceeding expectations for 13 consecutive quarters. The backlog of orders was as high as $5 billion, equivalent to nearly 2 years' revenue. Among them, commercial orders grew by 136% year-on-year, showing the market's recognition of its technology. The financial health is also remarkable. The net debt EBITDA ratio is 2.4 times, and the interest coverage ratio is 10 times. The abundant cash flow supports the continuous dividend payment and stock repurchase. In the past decade, the dividend growth rate has been 13%, and the number of outstanding shares has decreased by more than 25%, providing a solid return guarantee for investors. From a valuation perspective, BWXT's current price to earnings ratio is 40 times, lower than the average of 45 times for nuclear power peers. The EV/EBITDA ratio of 25 times is also lower than that of Westinghouse Electric's 28 times, indicating obvious undervaluation. The DCF model calculation shows that, calculated at weighted average cost of capital of 6.89%, its target price in 2030 can reach $157. with an upside potential of 14% compared to the current stock price. If the growth rate of the commercial business exceeds expectations, the target price can even reach $180 to US, with an upside potential of 32%. Even in the most pessimistic scenario, the downside risk is only 3%. Such high elasticity and low risk characteristics are particularly rare in the current market environment. Of course, risks also exist. 76% of the revenue depends on U.S. government contracts. If defense or energy budgets are cut, it may directly affect the performance. The integration effect of Connectrix and changes in the SMR technology route may also bring uncertainties. However, these risks are more short-term disturbances and are unlikely to change its long-term trend. After all, in the energy revolution driven by AI, BWXT with its core technology and stable orders is no longer a traditional nuclear power enterprise but a scarce target spanning hard technology and hard defense. As the servers in AI data centers keep running day and night, and as the whole world is looking for low carbon and stable energy solutions, BWXT is injecting the energy of nuclear power into the pulse of the new era with its century-old technological accumulation. Its story is not only the growth history of an enterprise but also a microcosm of mankind's continuous breakthroughs in the intersection of energy and technology. And for investors, such an enterprise may be the key to riding through the cycles. That's all for this video. See you next time.